Live on YouTube and Google+, it's Pageant Live. This is the place for glamour and style. Get great pageant tips you won't find anywhere else. Find out what you need to know before your next pageant. Post your questions and comments for our panel during the show. Learn great ideas about all aspects of pageantry. Here we go. Pageant Live starts right now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pageant Live this evening, February 4th. We are so glad that everyone is here and has decided to take just a moment out of their schedule to join us for this fabulous show. We have four beautiful, wonderful queens that are just stepping out their titles and making a difference in this world. I would like to introduce myself because obviously I am not Stephanie. My name is Spruce Dickerson and I am Miss Plus America Elite 2011, which is with the Miss Plus America Pageant System, which is giving a platform and a voice to full-figured women. At this time, I would like for the queens, for our guests this evening, to introduce themselves. We have the pageant system, the World Miss Tourism Pageant System, with us this evening. So let's start with Allison, and we'll just go from one to the next. And please introduce yourself this evening.
Hi, everyone. I'm Allison Turner. I'm the world's Mrs. Tourism. And I've been with the system since the beginning. We've seen it grow from 20 contestants to approaching 104. I'm a mother of 5, an MBA, a Master's of Public Administration, a Master's of Psychology, and I'm working toward a doctorate in Business Administration.
Wonderful. Well, it's good to have you, Allison.
Thank you.
Gracie, what about you?
I'm Gracie Turner. I'm your junior teen Miss World Tourism. I cheer. I have 5 brothers and sisters.
Okay, wow, that's a big family. Well, it's good to have you tonight, Gracie. And tell us, you share the same name as Allison. What is that?
She's my mom.
She's your mom, okay. So we have a mother-daughter team tonight. That's always special. So welcome, Gracie, to the show. So what about Sagrika?
Hello, everyone. My name is Sagrika Mihak, and I am World's Miss Canada Tourism 2014. I reside in Canada. I live really close to Calgary, and I go to the University of Lethbridge in my last year with international management. And after this, I'm going to law school. And I'm very excited to represent my country of Canada.
Wonderful. Well, welcome. Welcome to Pageant Live this evening, Sagrika. And our last guest is Ariel.
Hi, guys. My name is Ariel Owens, and I am your World's Teen Miss Florida Tourism. And I'm currently the cheer captain, and I'm also a drama major at Blake High School. And I've been with this pageant system since 2009, and I've absolutely loved every year of it.
Wow. Well, welcome. And that's a great promotion for the pageant system. Very good. Ladies, welcome to all of you tonight on Pageant Live. And we are, like I said, we're just excited to have y'all here on the show this evening. And I'm just blessed to be able to host this evening in place of Stephanie and to have this privilege to be with y'all and talk with y'all, because your platform is a passion of mine, anti-bullying. So I'm glad to be able to sit here and talk with y'all about this. So let's talk about and introduce your pageant system. And, you know, I've said a little bit about it, but I would like for you ladies to go ahead and explain what your pageant system is all about. Ariel, what are the requirements of your pageant system?
Well, there are 4 categories. There's beauty, interview, there's costume, and there's photogenic. Beauty is just your favorite beauty gown, and costume is something that's a little bit different. It's something you dress up as something that is not very well known about your state. Like when I competed last year, I dressed up as a pilot, which was, for my fact, it was the first airline to go from Tampa to St. Pete.
Oh, well, that's pretty interesting. Wow, so you dress up as something that represents the state that you represent?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. And is that for everyone, for all contestants, young and to older?
Yes, it's a requirement for all age groups.
So, Allison, being you are the Mrs., did you participate in the costume?
No, actually, I took one of the ambassador titles. The reason I did that is basically because over the years the director and I have become very good friends, and it helped a lot because I'm an adult to promote my daughters. My youngest daughter is the Little Miss Tourism Ambassador, and then I have Gracie. So this gives them an adult to help them make their appearances with, and it helps avoid any sort of potential impression that there may be some sort of conflict of interest.
Wonderful. That's great. Okay, so you're the ambassador representing the system.
Yes.
And plus, you know, guiding and giving guidance to the girls.
Correct.
Great. Okay, wonderful. So tell me about this being a community-based pageant. What does that mean?
The queens are all very, very active in their community, not just on a local level, but also on a statewide level. Appearances can be made anywhere. Now, my daughters and I are very active in the community. We work a lot through our church. We do local events, and we also travel to make some appearances. And that's always been a lot of fun.
Traveling is always fun, right?
Oh, yes.
Getting to meet so many people from all different walks of life, that's always fun. Definitely.
It is.
Well, Sagrika, tell us about the requirements. We heard about the competition components, but Sagrika, tell us about requirements. What is required to be a delegate in this pageant system?
I think it's really important to just be yourself. I think the title and the pageant does not just focus on the beauty. It definitely focuses on how you treat other people, how you treat yourself, and I call it a working crown. Since I've gotten the crown and the title, I've been out making appearances, helping people, helping children, raising funds for not-for-profits, and I think that's the biggest requirement of this pageant. You have to go out there, you have to help out people, and you have to teach everyone to embrace each other's differences.
Right. Very good. Very good. So this pageant system supports all that. Now, is that a requirement in order to compete, or do I have to be a certain age, a certain height, or a certain weight, or how does that work?
Mostly pageants, they do have a certain height, weight limit, but it's really great because World's Miss Tourism Pageant is really accepting of all the differences of all the age groups. So if you want to enter, you can enter anytime, and you just have to contact the director.
Wonderful. Because as you see, we have Allison, who is our Mrs., and then we have her daughter Gracie, who is the youngest of you four, who I believe she's 11. So this is wonderful that we have a pageant system as yours that represents all women and girls, all in between, and that's really good to be able to just, you know, be all inclusive, to just represent everyone. All women and girls are beautiful. So
Exactly.
Yes.
right. Okay, ladies, let's go into what your pageant system platform is, and I know that y'all are all excited about this, right?
Yes.
Very.
So tell me, Ariel, so tell me about your pageant, World Miss Tourism Pageant platform. What is that, and what is it all about?
Well, the World's Miss Tourism Pageant platform is standing up against bullying, and it's really an all-around topic because you get bullying in elementary schools, daycares, even in the workplace when you're all supposed to be grown up and mature. You get bullying basically everywhere. And it touches me a lot because not only have I gone through it personally, I've also seen one of my friends actually take her life because of it, and it really hurts me every single time I try to think about it.
So tell us, was that your turning point, or was that maybe your what encouraged you to be involved in this pageant system? Why did you choose this pageant system?
I chose this pageant system because of the platform and also because of what it's all about, which is the community service. And also, I was pretty active with the platform when I went through it personally, but I feel that now that I have someone that I know about and I know that this stuff actually happens and it's real, it really made me open my eyes and see, wow, this is really a big problem, and it happens to not only the not so cool people, it also happens to the really cool people too.
Right, right. And and it drives it even further home when it's somebody that we know. Yeah. Was this a friend of yours, did you say? Was she close to you, or is it just somebody that you knew?
She was in my language arts class, and I was new to the school, and she was always there looking through my schedule and helping me around. And throughout the 7th grade year, we got really close, but she switched schools in the 8th grade, but we still kept in contact. And I would say that we were really close friends. And I read about it on the news, and I was getting ready to take a trip, and I was crying for 3 days straight.
Oh, I bet. Oh, I know. That's just heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. This is so great that you then seized this. I don't want to say opportunity, but that you took advantage of this to have a voice for this issue. So let me ask you other ladies, have any of you had any personal experiences? Allison, have you had a personal experience?
Yes, actually I have. I think almost every female in the country has had one. And it seems that girls seem to be harder on each other than boys are. And I think that part of the job of our queens is to teach these young girls to empower each other rather than to be mean to them.
Right.
My experience was in the workplace. You know, I'm a professional, and you encounter other professionals that take on bullying.
Right.
And it's unacceptable at any age.
So do you see this in your workplace? Do you see adult bullying in your workplace?
Not in my current workplace, which is something I'm very thankful for.
Good. But that does happen, and that was one thing too I wanted to talk about this evening, was adult bullying, because that is something that we don't ever hear about, but it exists.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that you brought that up and made a point of speaking about that, because that is very real. And just as was it Ariel just a while ago, she said we should be mature adults, but sometimes we aren't, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. So tell me, anyone else, Sagrika, and we heard from Ariel or Gracie, have you had any experience with bullying? Gracie, have you had any experience with bullying?
Not really.
No. Have you seen anybody being mean to other people?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that make you feel? Makes you kind of feel yucky, huh?
Yeah.
It does. Oh, I know. Well, Sagrika, what about you? Have you had any experience or been a part of anything like that?
In high school, I actually went through this experience, and at that time, I didn't know what was going on, but I could see there were people just being mean to me, and it brought me down. It definitely hindered my personal growth, and there was a point in my life when I just did not want to go to school anymore because these girls were being so mean to me. And then later on, I found out that it wasn't just me. There were actually other girls who left school because of it. And I talked to my family about it because there was just a point in my life that I just didn't know where to go from there. So I talked to my family, and my mom said I just have to stand up for myself. It's because I'm being weak and I'm showing that I'm weak. They're picking on me. And what I did is I literally just stood up and I faced them. I faced my fears. And I concentrated on volunteerism, I concentrated on my schoolwork, just different ways to cope with it. And then I joined pageants because it just empowers me.
That's good. So, and that is one of my questions is, across the board for you ladies, is this one thing and one experience why you wanted to join this pageant system?
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm so appreciative of this pageant system focusing their platform on bullying, because it is so important and it is so widespread and it's getting even worse. So tell me in our audience what each of you are doing specifically with your titles. Let's go to Gracie. Gracie, let me ask you, honey, with your title, you are Junior Teen Tourism World Ambassador, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what are some of the things that you've been doing with your title? Some of your appearances?
I've been going to nursing homes and taking them gift baskets and treats and just spending the day.
Well, that's nice. That's really sweet. And I'm sure that they just love on you, don't they?
Yeah.
They do. And you love on them too, huh?
Yeah.
That's sweet. Well, good. And what about with your friends? What do your friends think about you being a queen?
They think it's cool.
That's good. See, so you're making a difference in being an influence with your friends, aren't you?
Yes.
Good, good, good. And you know, too, at school, when those bullies see you, well, they're looking like, oh, wow. See, you're even influencing those bullies without even having to say a word, aren't you?
Yeah.
Good girl, good girl. So, Allison, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with your title.
I'm helping Gracie. I'm actually trying to encourage her and to teach her how to empower her friends and her peers. I'm working with my 4-year-old and trying to teach her the same thing. I accompany Gracie to the nursing homes. And we're talking a lot about the psychology of bullies, because a lot of time these children that are bullies, they have very low self-esteem. So if we can help empower them to feel better about themselves, in theory, the bullying can actually stop.
You know, Allison, you're just extracting things just out of my head, because that was one thing I did want to say, too, that I wanted to talk about also, because, ladies, we always talk about those who are being bullied, right? And our heart breaks and our heart goes out to the ones being bullied, and we certainly do want to help those to be able to deal with that. But I also go to, you know, what do you think, Ariel, about the bully? What do you think about how that person feels, or what's happening with the bully? Can we do anything to help the bully, Ariel?
I honestly think that we can. I've done a lot of research and delivered a lot of speeches on the topic, and it always comes down to the statistics that 9 out of 10 people that are actually bullies have low self-esteem and self-confidence themselves, or have a really bad background at home and they're trying to lash out and get somebody else's confidence to fill up their selves. And I think that if we take those people and set them down and tell them, be who you are and don't be afraid to be who you want to be and don't think about what anybody else says, we can help the bully in the same direction that we can also help the victim as well.
Very good. Very good. That's so good, and that's so right. Because the bully is a bully for some reason. You know, we don't know what it is, but the bully is mean for whatever reason. But the bully needs help just as much as the victim does, too. So, very good. So, Greka, talk to us about how to prevent bullying. What would you advise people and who maybe are susceptible to being bullied?
It is a very big issue, and most of the time people are just not talking about it. They're just going through this experience and they're just keeping it in their hearts, because that's what I did when I was going through it, and I did not talk about it to my parents, to any of my teachers. And the biggest thing is just to reach out, get help, talk about it. It's really important to get the word out. Let people know that this is happening to you. There's also bullying helplines. You can talk to them. They're always open to you. They're always open to listening to your problems, and they will give you a really good solution about it too.
But Sagrika, why do you think people don't want to share and want to talk about being bullied?
I think people are just really scared, or they think they're just going to get disapproval from people, or they think that people are just not going to respond to it or do anything about it. So my biggest advice to those people is just to find that safe person you feel you can share your feelings with. It could be your dad, your mom, your advisor, counselor, or your favorite teacher. And I'm sure they can tell you a really good way out of it.
Right. Well, very good. That's the main thing, is just don't keep anything inside. Find a trusted person, a trusted friend, or a trusted adult, and to be able to share your heart and to be able to share the experiences that you're going through. Because if we keep things inside of us, whether it's bullying or anything else, if we keep things inside of us that disturb us, then eventually that will just that'll send us into depression.
Yeah.
So we do definitely need to talk about these things.
Yeah.
So, Allison, I know that we touched on adult bullying. Give us just a couple of tips for adults that maybe are susceptible also. Give us a couple of tips where they can avoid or prevent being bullied. What do you think?
I think a lot of it comes to maintaining your professionalism. You have to be professional. You have to be kind and courteous and respectful. And if you treat everyone the way you want to be treated and be nice and empower your coworkers and your peers, I don't think you can go wrong. Just simply, a kind word here and there, or are you having a good day, just reaching out can really make a difference.
That's good. That's good, and that's back to helping the bully. If we are kind, but it's the same thing. If we meet hatred with hatred, then we're not getting anywhere.
We're not. We're just compounding the situation.
Exactly. No one is getting better. No one is getting anywhere. It's just making the situation worse. So if you meet hatred with kindness and love and compassion, and I know sometimes that might be hard, but we are queens, aren't we?
Exactly.
Right, ladies?
Yes.
And that's one thing about being a queen, right? We learn those traits and those characteristics. So, Gracie, honey, let me ask you this. We said just a minute ago about your influence on the bully, that you don't even have to say anything to the bully, that they can just watch you and you can be an influence to them. But Gracie, so tell us one thing that you think that you could tell a bully that would help them not be so mean. Is there something that you could say to a bully that maybe would help them not be mean?
Just tell them to stop or something like that.
To stop, right? Just to be nice. And maybe you could say, what if somebody treated you like that? That's not very nice, right?
Right.
Good. Well, you keep being the beautiful you, Gracie, and being that beautiful influence that you are, sweetheart. Okay? Okay. Now, just a couple of other things before we come to a close. Excuse me. Sorry. Ariel, I understand that you are president of an organization. Can you tell us about the organization that you are president of?
Well, I am currently president of the Oasis Program, which is a group of students that get trained, like guidance counselors are trained, to go out to different schools and reach out to those bully victims, as well as anybody else who has questions or needs any help, because in our minds we believe that some students would rather speak to their peers or like someone like their friend about the problem because they'll feel more comfortable than talking to an adult.
Yes.
Because I know personally know a lot of people that are intimidated by authority.
Okay. Okay. And that's good. That goes back to what we were talking about a while ago, right? Is to find a trusted friend, someone that you can trust. And so in your experience, what you're saying, in your age group, being a teenager, that teens would much prefer to talk to somebody their own age and to put their trust into somebody their own age, right?
Yes. We've had a case that we went to a school and we had somebody who wasn't comfortable talking in school. So what we had done is we had set up some of the kids in the group to go have an evening hangout or an afternoon hangout with that person and talk to them and give them advice.
Wow, that's really good. And was that person receptive to that?
Yes, definitely. They shared a lot of things, and we were really able to help bring up her self-esteem and self-confidence, and she's doing a lot better now.
Wow, that's awesome. Good, good. So the Oasis program,
yes.
Where all is that? Is that in every school, or is it a grassroots program right now? Where is that? Where is it right now?
Right now, it's just starting out in Hillsborough County. It's starting to branch out to some of the other counties like Pasco and Largo, those areas. But right now, we're mainly in Hillsborough County, and we're spreading out in Florida. Hopefully, by the end of this year or next year, we'll be in some other states.
Wonderful. Well, keep up the great work with that. Just keep doing the great work. And Sagrika, I wanted to ask you briefly about, I believe you're wanting to start a nonprofit.
After my graduation and after I get my law degree, starting a not-for-profit is definitely on top of my list. I want to help out with the 3 basic needs that every person needs: food, shelter, and clothing. So hopefully one day I can have that organization in every part of the world.
Great. Well, just keep on the path that you're on, and just keep shining your beautiful self, and you will get there.
Thank you.
You will get there. So, ladies, how important do you think that the anti-bullying focus is for the World's Miss Tourism pageant? How important do you think that their focus is? And just anyone can answer.
I think it's very important that we not only reach out into our communities to help people in need, but also to reach out to different organizations to bring up those girls' and guys' self-esteem and make everybody feel a lot better about themselves and try to reduce the suicide rates and the suicide thoughts and self-harm.
Yes, very good. Anyone else? Any other ladies want to answer that? How important is this platform for your pageant system?
It is incredibly important to this pageant system. Not only does the existing queen have the opportunity to go out and to help others and to increase awareness, but new queens, we can welcome the new queens in who may lack that self-confidence. And the beauty of this title is it allows them to kind of take baby steps to go out of their comfort zone and become more articulate and more confident.
Yes, absolutely. So definitely, ladies, Ariel, Sagrika, definitely you think that your pageant system, the World Miss Tourism Pageant Organization, is definitely making a difference in the world and in the lives of other people?
Absolutely.
Yes. Definitely. I know that when I first started in 2009, I went in, I was a very not self-confident 5th grader, and I came into the pageant and I've met so many people from out of state, and they were all complimenting me, and I've sat down and I've talked to some of them, and now I feel that I have a lot more of a stronger self-confidence having gone through that pageant system than I did definitely when I started out in 2009.
Oh, that is so wonderful. So my question is then, pageantry overall, Gracie and Ariel, Sagrika, Allison, would you think that pageantry is educational to girls and women? You think it's beneficial?
Yes.
Yes.
In all those things, it teaches us. What I tell you, Sagrika, give me one thing pageantry teaches girls and women, and men and boys too.
I will relate this to my degree in management. I have learned a lot of communication skills and time management skills after I've been into pageantry. On top of that, I've learned to become more humanitarian towards other people, respecting
Good.
everyone, and embracing everyone's differences. And I think this
Good.
is something that everyone can learn from.
Good. Gracie, tell us one thing that being in this pageant has taught you.
It taught me to be kind and
Good. That's good. And Ariel, one thing it has taught you being in this pageant system, or being in pageantry.
Being in pageantry, well, I know when I tell my friends, oh, I'm in pageants, they directly go on to toddlers and tiaras. And I have to slow down, and I have to go, no, it's not like that. I do the natural pageants, which are all about inner beauty and how you can present yourself. And I know definitely with going up against the school board, being in my community, I've definitely learned a lot of business skills that I can use later in life when I go into college. And I've learned a lot of public speaking skills. I've learned a lot of education skills that's actually taken on with myself, and I've been able to use them in school to actually excel a lot better.
Good. Excellent. Ladies, this has been wonderful. I have so enjoyed each of you and just in hearing so many different perspectives and just hearing about your journey. I really enjoy that. So thank you for coming on our show this evening and inviting our audience into your lives. So before we go, are there any last words that you want to say, or and give us any contact information for you? So Allison, do you have contact information and any last words? Quickly.
I do. quickly, no pressure. We're still taking contestants for the World Finals in July. You can register by going to worldsmisstourismpageants.com. You can connect with me or Gracie through Facebook. We're under our names. By Twitter, I'm Mrs. World Tourism. Gracie is Junior Teen Tourism.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Ariel, what about you?
Well, as she said, they're still taking contestants, and if you want to get in touch to me or talk, like you need tips or you're just not feeling confident, you could always private message me on Facebook, and my Facebook is my name, Ariel Owens. You should find me. I have red hair. Not very many people, Ariels, have red hair. And just if you need to get in contact with me about anything about the pageant, you can contact me. You need bowling advice, you need help with a community event, you can always contact me.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ariel. And Sagrika, how about you?
So I do have Facebook. You can type in my name, Sagrika Mihak. And I have blogs, so you can also type in my name. And then I have Instagram. You can write in Miss Canada Tourism, and you will find me. On my blog, I write about anti-bullying, self-esteem, and things that are related to fitness as well. So, you can follow me on there. And if you want to talk about anything, you can always private message me on Facebook as well.
Wonderful. And last but not least, Gracie, is there any one last thing that you want to say? You want to give a word of encouragement to our audience?
I don't really know any.
I love my child. I love her.
She says she loves you, and be strong out there if you're being bullied. Well, ladies, again, I just want to thank all of you, and I want to thank Stephanie and PageantLIVE for inviting me to fill Stephanie's stilettos, mighty stilettos to fill as host tonight. So I have just thoroughly enjoyed this. I've enjoyed all of you ladies. You're just beautiful inside and out. Keep up the great work and just keep shining and making a difference in this world with your crowns and your titles. As I always always say, it's not about my crown, it's not about my title, but it's always about others. So go and do great things, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And be sure to tune in next week. There will be another show next Tuesday, and Stephanie will be back. She's off doing mighty and great things herself, but she will be back next Tuesday. So, audience, please join us again next Tuesday for another fabulous show. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.